The actual process consists of us, the manufacturing plant, receiving raw materials every day. So this is our raw meat receiving and raw vegetables and raw material receiving area, as opposed to the shipping area all the way on the other side of the plant, which is generally finished products. This is raw materials. A lot of it has got to be refrigerated, or has to be refrigerated, and right behind us it may go directly into a freezer for holding. It could go directly into production for processing, and it comes in on a daily basis. A lot of our raw materials are less than 24 hours old from the time they came from the meatpacking plant to the time it gets into the finished product. From that point forward is how we make the food. The empty cans are transported to the filling machine. Simultaneously, of course, a batch of food is manufactured. And that part is done by inspecting all the raw materials prior to it being processed, possibly by grinding, or if it's a hand packing process, it's just done by hand. Goes into a mixer. Other ingredients are all combined and added together at that point. Temperature may be adjusted at that point, and then once it's ready to go, it's pumped into a filling machine that will individually fill each can to a certain predetermined height, so that there's always a little bit of space at the top of the can to create our vacuum. Additionally, we have a separate line, which we call the hand packing line, similar to the old I Love Lucy conveyor candy line, whereby we have workers that their job is to fill the empty can with a whole part, which could be a whole chicken wing, it could be a whole chicken thigh, it could be a whole sardine, head to tail, all included. The workers is to fill those cans by hand with as much raw material as possible, at which point the can is fed into what we call the seamer machine, which actually applies the lid and attaches it in a very specific and regulated, FDA regulated way. Once that is accomplished, the can goes through a washing machine in case any excess food spilled on the outside of the can, goes into a holding wagon. We'll hold about 1,000 cans on our 13-ounce size Dog Whisperer product. Holding wagons, once they're full, will be put into what is called a retort, which is really another name for a large pressure cooking vessel. That's how the food is sterilized while it's in the can. That process is very highly regulated also by the FDA to ensure commercial sterility of each and every can of pet food that is manufactured. Once that process is complete, cans are then taken over to the labeling area, at which point the labels are applied, cans are put into trays, plastics applied, and palletized. At that point, the product is ready to be released into commerce. However, there is one additional step that we need to do prior to actually releasing in commerce, and that is quality control. That's pretty much the whole process.